What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to discuss the role or the perception of the role that gift of the givers play in society, particularly in the role of the Palestinians and how they're being viewed as terrorists. Is Gift of the Givers a terrorist organization? Or is it a terrorist supporting organization? See, here's the thing. From what we know about Gift of the Givers and its founder and chairman, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, Gift of the Givers have never, there's no record showing them in cahoots with any terrorist organization. And I'm using the word terrorist organization very loosely because trust you when I tell you that the so-called terrorist organizations or designated terrorist organizations are people who are basically, or groups that are basically, for the most part, fighting for either independence, freedom, or pieces of the economy of which the people are being excluded from, especially people that are in mining towns, people that are in fishing villages, people that are in um, places of economic hubs and benefits, but are not reaping the benefits that the corporations are actually taking out of the country. So when you start resisting such companies, such movements, and you create an anti, I don't know, an anti, what's the keyword? What's the keyword? An anti stealing of assets or resources from your surroundings, from your place, from your whatever, you are branded a terrorist. If you look at, for example, like I'm saying, gift of the givers, a lot of detractors look at it and say, what they do on the surface, providing food parcels, housing, tents, this and that and the other, is a front for them funding or being in collaboration with terrorist organizations. Now, I find that to be shocking, strange, alarming. Put any other word in there that you think would deserve such a mention that is beyond belief. Because one thing is for sure, I've noticed that as long as an organization is either led, run, or has a majority Muslim representation, that organization is 9 out of 10 chances branded a terrorist organization. Now, are they Muslim terrorists? Yes, they are. Are they Christian terrorists? Yes, they are. Are they Jewish terrorists? Yes, they are. Now, let us talk about Christian terrorism, for example. Let's start with Christian terrorism. Because we all know Muslim terrorism. We all know that, right? So we talk about Boko Haram, we talk about ISIS, we talk about Hezbollah, we talk about Al Shabaab, we can talk about what else? There's this one here in what was it called again? They wanted a whole caliphate that was taken out in Iraq. What was it called? Uh, sure, I can't remember the name now. But anyway, there's like so many there, like designated groups in the Arab Peninsula, right? Cool. Let's talk about Christian ones, for example. In the Delta regions of Nigeria, there's a group of people that decided to stand up against the oil companies draining oil, taking all the profits, and destroying the land. That is a terrorist group. Are they terrorists? No. How can they be terrorists? Right? They can't be. Do you know that in Nigeria right now, as we speak, there are Christian terrorists that are killing everybody, Christians, Muslims, it doesn't matter. People think when they're talking about terrorism in Nigeria, they're only talking about Boko Haram. Boko Haram is in the north. In the south, there's not Boko Haram. It's what's it? It's Ipsos, what Ipos, Ips, if something. I can't remember the two names of the Christian terrorist groups that there are in the south. It's the south and it's in the east, if I'm not mistaken. There's one in the south and one in the east. Boko Haram is in the north. And I think the other one is in the east, Muslim one also. But I think it's in the south, it's a Christian one. And they're murdering everybody. Doesn't matter your religion, they just murdering everybody. Right? But when they talk terrorism, everyone just talks about the Muslim side of terrorism. No one talks about the Christian side. No one talks about the Jewish side. Look what's happening in the West Bank. Those right-wing Jewish people are murdering the Palestinians like nobody's business. They're taking away their houses, burning their crops, killing their animals. That's terrorism. They are blowing up these people's things. The wells, the waters, that's Jewish terrorism at play. So how do you come to the conclusion that Gift of the Givers is a terrorist organization or a terrorist supporting organization? So I like people who are nationalists, right? You love your country, you love your people. I love people who are tribal, right? Because you want to see your people from your tribe succeed. Nothing wrong with that. But don't see your people succeed at the expense of other people. I mean, it would be so ironic, so unfair for the country of South Africa to develop to a point that only Zulu people get to thrive. I mean, wouldn't that be a shock? I mean, like, let's be tribal now. So we only develop South Africa because the Zulus are the biggest tribe. So therefore, we're going to make sure that only the Zulus prosper, only the Zulus. I mean, how will the country look? That means KwaZulu Natal, well, parts of it because there's also Indians there. That means only the African part of it. The African part of KwaZulu Natal will be so developed, and the rest wouldn't be as developed as that part of KwaZulu Natal. And that's totally unfair. Now, back to the issue of gift of the givers and how we got to this point. Apparently, gift of the givers had an instrumental role in bringing the Palestinians over to South Africa. That's what the official words are being said. They are saying gift of the givers actually were involved in the whole process from start to finish, getting the Palestinians on board in Palestine through Israel to Kenya to South Africa. And apparently they are going through South Africa. They're not coming to South Africa. Big difference. They are going through. They are coming through South Africa. Keyword, operative word being through. They are not here to stay. So I saw this podcast, right? This YouTuber, podcaster, I think it's Willem Petzer of the Petzer Group. By the way, I got to say, shout out to Willem Petzer. He does an outstanding job. Well researched, well educated, well read. Wow, his stuff is top notch. I cannot criticize his stuff as much as I'd love to. I cannot argue his points because he brings truth to the table. However, there's the one episode that he made about gift of the givers, and he was on in that episode he was speaking about the ANC and how they are communists and how they're siding with Russia and China and how it's bad for the country. And I thought to myself, this was so unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. You cannot say the ANC is wrong by siding with China and Russia. and not siding with America, because the mistake they're making is not siding with America and instead siding with Russia, China, and Iran. What Mr. Petzer forgot to mention in his research, or the research he forgot to do, or maybe he doesn't know about this history of why South Africa is siding with China and Russia and Iran to begin with, is that they are obviously comrades in arms when it comes to the war. Huh? I can't hear what you're saying. What are you saying? You need what? Hmm? What is that? Well, is it this thing? What is this thing? A donation. You want a donation? Do I have money? How much must I donate? 550. Serious? Yo, can I? Let me see how much I have. I don't know if I have any. Let me see if I have. Man, I don't know if I have money, bro. I don't have money. I got a for school. Are you brother and sister? You brother and sister. Okay, you brother and sister, isn't? Okay. Brother and sister. You're your sister. Okay, how much is this? 10 rand. Okay, how much is this? 10 rand. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry about that. Guys, we're doing our bit for the community, right? Okay, so check this out. So, people, here's the thing, right? Mr. Pizza doesn't talk about how Russia, China, Iran, Palestine stood with South Africa during the struggle. He doesn't talk about that. All he's just talking about is how bad the ANC is for siding with Russia and China, how bad he is. Dude, I understand that Mr. Pizza is an Afrikaner. I understand that Mr. Pizza holds Afrikanerdom first and foremost in his blood. And it should be that way. That is tribalism. Right? He says in his video, he actually said it. He makes sure he looks after his people first. Afrikaner people, then the rest of South Africa. That, my friend, is tribalism. But it's okay if white people say it, right? But if Zulus and Xhosas and Pedis and Tswana say it, then it's tribalism, man. It's not good, but he said it. Fine. The video is not about him. I'm just highlighting a point that he spoke about in his video. Now, back to Gift of the Givers. The man said Gift of the Givers was basically like a terrorist organization. He basically almost likened it to that situation. And I was thinking to myself, but are you saying it because they are Muslim? Are you saying it because there's tangible evidence that they funded, that they actively provided weapons and arms to designated terrorist groups? And before you label anyone as a terrorist or terrorist organization, do your research and find out if these people are actually resistance fighters or are they really terrorist people? What would you constitute as terrorism? Right? Now, here's my thing. Oh, you bombed a hotel. Oh, you bombed the thing. That's terrorism. Okay. How about when Israel bombs a hospital? What is that? Oh, it's not terrorism. Hamas was in the building. Okay, cool. When the ANC bombs a hotel, don't you think that maybe, just maybe, there was SANDF operatives in that hotel? No, that's disregarded. Guess what? Ah, terrorism. When the ANC bombs an oil pipeline or a petrol um, refinery, oil refinery that's meant to supply petrol to the military regime that's quote unquote taking out the ANC people, it's terrorism, total terrorism. But when the SANDF, when they go into neighboring countries and they obliterate the neighboring countries' infrastructure because they're after the ANC's operatives, what is that? Oh, it's not terrorism, it's going after the terrorists. Can you see how these narratives are shaped one sided? And to me, it's unbelievable that people would label Gift of the Givers as a terrorist organization or terrorist sympathizers. Now, what is most upsetting to me is there isn't tangible proof of this, right? Even if there is, show it to us. Say, Gift of the Givers have secured weapons for Hamas, they have secured ammunition and bombs for Hezbollah. Show us how they're working hand in hand with Boko Haram. That for me would then say to me, even Boko Haram, the SNDF, not the SNDF, Gift of the Givers is actually supporting the RSF in killing and maiming and torturing Sudanese people. Show me concrete evidence of that. Then I would definitely say, okay, these people are definitely terrorist linked, right? Up until then, guys, come on. This man has even, Dr. Imtiaz has even won, I think, international awards recognition for the sterling work he's been doing. This man has been sending food aid to Palestine. I mean, what has the West done for Palestine during the bombing of Palestine by the fellow Western European people, the Israelis, in the Gaza Strip? So to label Gift of the Givers as an organization that supports or that aids and abets terrorism, for me is dumbfounded and should not be tolerated at all, simply because that they are Muslim. As a Muslim person, as a Muslim man, I am deeply offended that Gift of the Givers is seen in the light of a terrorist organization or a terrorist supporting organization. I just don't get it. So, what does the ANC have to do to prove to the world that during their struggle, America did not stand with them at all? Britain did not stand with them at all. So why now that there's independence, why should they stand with the people that did not stand with them? That's the question I'm trying to ask everybody, and no one seems to answer my question. It's like, oh, the ANC stands with terrorists. When China was standing with the terrorists, when Russia was standing with the terrorists to gain freedom in South Africa, when freedom came, who do you think those terrorists were going to stand with? The people that supplied weapons and arms to the oppressors? Like, are you serious? Guys, come on. Let's, let's be real. Let's be real. Yes, to most right wing people, you have to stand with America. That's the only way. America's the truth. America's the way. America's that. Cool. But America is also a failing power and a falling power. So why would I want to stand with a falling power when I can rather stand with a rising power, which is China? I mean, wouldn't it make sense for you to align yourself with the strongest rather than the weakening? I'm just saying. So the mere fact that Gift of the Givers is aligned with the ANC and that the ANC um, bows at the behest of Gift of the Givers is a sign that two organizations that fought a good fight at the times of the fight, standing together, stood with each other, is a sign, it's a good sign. So I don't see that as being a bad thing at all. But the minute Gift of the Givers decide that the ANC needs to give in to their demands to help the Palestinians, then it's a problem. But when, I don't know, let's just say I don't know. Well, we need to supply arms to Israel because they are in a war, not an asymmetrical war, but they are in a perpetual war which determines whether they're going to die and be killed and there'll be no more Jews in the world because they're facing a threat from Hamas. Then guess what? America sends the most deadliest bombs that they have in their arsenal. And that's okay. And that's okay. That is okay because they're getting rid of terrorism. Yeah, dude. You're not even going underground in the tunnels to get rid of the terrorists there. No, you're bombing everything on the surface to get rid of terrorism. You're bombing everything except the terrorists. So how are you getting rid of terrorism? By bombing everything else except the terrorists. I don't know. I really don't know. But for me, that video by Willem Pizza was just so one-sided. It was so right-wing. It was so, I don't know. From my point of view, I just viewed it as from an Afrikaner point of view because he said America cares about the Afrikaner people. No, he doesn't care about the Afrikaner people. He cares about white people. He said it himself. America is too dark. It's too black. It's too brown. It needs to be whitened more. It's already white, but we need more white. That's why he imported white people and deported brown people. So, why would you want to stand with someone like that who's openly a racist? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying the Chinese are not racist. I'm not saying the Russians are not racist. But at least Putin is not on record, neither is Xi Jinping on record officially saying, we need more Chinese, we need more Russians, we need more that. Nah, he's not on record for saying none of that. But Donald Trump is on record for saying it. So he is clearly openly a racist. There's video evidence of him saying racist things. So we can clearly say he's a racist. But let me know what your thoughts on this video are. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. We family, right? Holla.